Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. It has been several months since I've made a video, so I wanted to come on. I know there are a few people that asked where I was and were kind of worried about me, that thought that the channel just died, which it kind of did. But yeah, I wanted to come on and do a video. This video is actually going to be about a trip that I took back in October. And then if you want to know more about like what's going on with me and Kevin and all of that, stay tuned for my next video and I'll have all of that information there. So this video is actually going to be on my experience on Dr. Oz. So I don't remember the exact date. It was before Halloween. It was the end, I want to say the third week of October. Um, I got a call from one of the producers of Dr. Oz who saw my YouTube channel, and they reached out to me. They said that they were doing a segment on, what did they say? Like real women that were in relationships with someone that was incarcerated. And, you know, they gave me the lowdown on like what the show was going to be about. It was based off of our relationship, and that was pretty much it. And they said that there was definitely no drama. Um, it was going to be like a 15-minute interview probably with Dr. Oz. And yeah, so I got off the phone with them. I talked to Kevin when he called me and ran it by him. And he's always really supportive, like whatever I want to do, he usually backs it up unless it was something crazy like, you know, Love After Lockup or like a show that is like more entertainment based, then I know that he definitely like wouldn't be for that. And I wouldn't want to do that either, just because I've seen it and I know how much they edited and like how much is actually true and all of that jazz. Anyhow, I talked to Kevin. He was totally cool with it. So I got in touch with the producer that I spoke with, which all of the producers I have to say that I spoke with were so awesome. They were so accommodating. They're so sweet. They're so like non-judgmental and supportive, which was amazing. So I had an amazing experience. But I contacted them, and they told me that I think it was like 2 days later. It was like 2 or 3 days later that they were gonna like fly me out to New York from Washington. So they paid for my flight. They had a car pick me up and take me to the hotel that I stayed at, which I stayed at, I think it was called the Empire Hotel. Um, and I forgot the name of the TV show that they filmed there. I always want to say Gilmore Girls, and I know that's not it. But anyway, I'll have to like put it in the comments or whatever after I post this. But yeah, so they put me up in the hotel, which was super nice. And that first day that I got there, I had all night to do whatever I wanted. So kind of went upstairs. They had like a rooftop bar and restaurant. I went up there and like had dinner and just like kind of enjoyed the view and everything. I was right in Manhattan, so like I was in the heart of everything. Like it was really awesome. And then that next morning, a car picked me up and they took me to the studio, which was like 5-10 minutes away maybe, and we filmed. We were supposed to be like hair and makeup ready, which I was, but they still took me back to hair and makeup, and they touched up my hair a little bit, and they did my makeup, and I got to meet one of the other women that was being interviewed. She went after me. So it was already after hair and makeup. They brought me back to the room that I was in, the green room, and they told me that I was the first person that was going to go on. So I was like, all right, like, you know, we're here, like, might as well do it. I was a little bit nervous. I wasn't like completely nervous, but I was a little bit nervous about it. I've never done a talk show or anything like that before. So I just remember like walking out, and I hadn't met Dr. Oz yet at that point. And I just remember seeing there was like two audiences. There was an audience that was to the side of me, and then there was one that was like behind me. And walked out, like, you know, I think he gave me a hug. I want to say he gave me a hug when I first met him. Said it was nice to meet me, and he just said pretty much like, you're going to sit down and talk to me. I'm going to ask you some questions, and like that's going to be it. So that's pretty much how it went. Like we sat down, like the audience clapped. At one point I was like thinking, oh, should like I clap with the audience? Like I feel kind of awkward, like, you know, I've never done this before. And there's a TV like directly in front of me, and they played some clips from this YouTube channel actually on the TV. So I remember like watching the TV for a second, and then Dr. Oz started like asking me questions. He definitely like was just asking me questions pretty much about our relationship, like how we met. So I told him about writeaprisoner.com. I told him about my relationship, like what my mom thought of it versus what my dad thought of it, which was night and day. Um, I talked about, or he asked me about Kevin's crime. So I talked about that, but I was pretty vague about it. It's all public knowledge anyway, so like it's not a secret. So I wasn't too worried about that. They asked me how long he had, and they asked about visiting and like extended family visits, like what we want to do about having kids and like all of the above. And so within 15 minutes, like I was able to answer all these questions. I thought it went really well. I'm really direct with answering questions, especially like when I'm on camera or in an interview or anything like that. And so that's exactly how it was. Like he asked me a question, I answered it. He asked me a question, I answered it. At the end of it, he mentioned something about like how some people think that women that are married or with people that are incarcerated are like desperate or whatnot, like the stigma, because that was the whole show, was about breaking the stigma of what a prison wife is. And I responded and I said, honestly, like I don't have low self-esteem. I don't have low self-worth or no self-worth. I have self-worth, I have self-confidence. I have self-esteem. Like I'm a very independent person. Like I do everything on my own. I'm, busy. I go to school, I work, I'm trying to better myself and all of this. I said, so I definitely don't think that's the case at all. I said, my situation's different. Obviously, everybody says that, but I feel like it is. Um, I feel like I definitely know my husband and I know how he's going to be when he gets out. I know that he's supportive. He's always been supportive. He's never given me any reasons to like doubt him ever. And he's always been honest with me. And yeah, and so I talked about, having self-esteem. And the audience, there's a moment where the audience actually clapped and Dr. Oz smiled and, kind of like laughed a little bit, which was pretty awesome. Because I feel like you don't get that a lot, like especially if you're talking to somebody that's in a situation like this. Like if you were in Dr. Phil talking about like how you were married to somebody in prison, like Dr. Phil would like eat you alive, you know what I mean? Like he would, yeah, it would just be horrible. So anyway, it wasn't like that at all. So I can say honestly, my experience was amazing. I didn't have any complaints at all. I can say I didn't see the show. I didn't know what they were editing until the show actually aired. And it aired. I was trying to pull it up on my phone so I could let you guys know what it was called. But it was November 15th. And let me see if I can show you this. It's called True Crime Thursday. Is fog of allergy medicine to blame and hammer murder. So it's that third one down there. When I went onto the Dr. Oz channel, it only showed like a clip. But I know you can find it because I watched the whole thing. And if you guys can't find it, I actually recorded it on my phone. So I can always like email it or whatever to you if you wanted to watch it. But yeah, definitely go into Dr. Oz, see if you can find those archived episodes. Like I said, it was from November 15th. So it wasn't too long ago. But the first half of the show is about, this murder, and the second half was me being interviewed. There was a girl that went before me through Skype that was interviewed, and she had relationships with like serial rapists and stuff like that. And so her interview did not go well at all. She talked about how she had no self-esteem and she was broken and like all sorts of crazy stuff. Excuse me. And so that was the first interview, and then I came on live. And then the woman that went after me was really awesome. I talked to her actually while we were waiting. And she had written a book. She had a nonprofit organization that she was starting for like family members of incarcerated. And she was with somebody, I think, that did 20 years. And after they got out, they ended up divorcing. So they're no longer together. But she still had all that experience. And she did tell me that she wasn't really transparent with her husband, like when he was in, like she tried to hide a lot from him and like kind of coddle him. And she said the fact that I don't coddle him is it's gonna work. She said it's really good that I don't do that because I'm telling him how it really is. Like I'm not saying, oh, like oh yeah, everything's fine, baby. Like I'm not having any problems like paying for this or that or like paying bills or like everything's perfectly fine. Like I literally tell Kevin everything. Like if I'm not happy, like I'll let him know. If I'm happy, I let him know. Like I tell him everything that's going on. So she gave me some tips and she said she felt like from what I told her that we had a really good relationship and it seemed like hopefully things will work out for us when he gets out. So that was my experience with Dr. Phil. I'm going to try and post pictures, and I do have some video clips to this video. I am all horrible with video editing. That's why my videos are never edited. They're like completely raw, as you guys probably know from watching them and from listening to like my fumbling over my words and just doing random things. Like I never edit my videos because I don't know how to. I haven't taken the time or I haven't had the time to learn how to edit them. Maybe one day I will. So I'm going to try and post some pictures. I have a picture with Dr. Oz and I have some videos from like being at the airport and I think the hotel, and then also I have video from being in the green room that I took, and they're really short clips. They're not like extremely long clips. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and get that all like compiled together so I can add to this video so you guys can see that. If you have any questions about like my experience or really anything, go ahead and ask me. It was a really amazing experience. I don't think that I would do it again. I was just talking to Kevin about this. Like, I feel like media probably isn't for me anymore. Like, we've been doing this. This is our 5th year that we've been together. And I've been interviewed by newspapers before and now like the TV show and like random other things. And I'm kind of like burnt out on the whole thing. But overall, because this is all about like, my experience on Dr. Oz, I had an amazing experience, and I just want to thank every one of the producers that I worked with for being so kind and being understanding and greeting me, like accepting me and all of that. I guess that was maybe my only fear is that like they would be like kind of judgmental or whatever, and they weren't at all. So that was really cool. So anyway, I'm at 12 minutes. I don't want this to be super long. I just wanted to come on, do my quick Dr. Oz video. And like I said, stay tuned for my next vlog because that's going to be more related to what we've been working on in the last like 3 months or so. As far as Kevin's court stuff, we've got appeals going on. We have some bills going through legislation right now. So hoping a couple of those get passed. And lobby day is coming up soon. So I'm hoping I'll be able to go to that. And oh yeah, I'm in Colorado right now, guys. I'm not even in Washington, but I'll be back in Washington next week. And I'll talk more about that on the next video too, because there's a lot more into that. So anyway, please subscribe if you're not subscribed, like the video, comment if you guys have any comments, questions, anything of that sort. Sorry, I haven't been consistent at all. Life has been crazy between work, school, stuff like the TV show and I don't know, medical stuff that I've been dealing with and just everything. It's been kind of crazy. And I think, yeah, I just needed a moment to kind of decompress and like clear my head because it's been years of like working on this case and all of the above. So anyway, I'm going to end this video now. I hope you guys liked this video. And I will see you guys soon. All right. Bye. Love you.